It's great to see you again. So let's talk about this deal that many, at least on Friday, weren't too optimistic that a deal was going to be able to get through Congress. We did see that. So how are you looking at what was reached and really what that signals here for the next 6.5 weeks until that next deadline?
Yeah, good morning. So look, my main point to clients has been we have expected a shutdown of the government in the fourth quarter, and investors should not care. Our message to clients this morning has been the exact same. We still expect a shutdown in the fourth quarter, and we don't think the clients should care. And I think you perfectly summarized it in the beginning when you said, look, all we did is what DC does best, which is punt the hard decisions, punt the hard bills to later on. And all we have here is a punt of the federal funding deadline to November 17th. Shauna Pratt, we haven't addressed any of the big issues. There's still fights over spending levels, over specific policies, and of course, over that Ukraine funding, which was the trickiest part of the whole thing for everyone to figure out over the weekend.
And so with that said, Isaac, are there any significant portfolio moves that you're telling clients or that you would advise people to consider, given the fact that there are still larger policy decisions that have yet to kind of net out one way or the other here once we get to November?
I'll tell you, the one thing that scared me the most was that we wouldn't collect and report official government data during the shutdown. I think obviously we all know it's a pretty sensitive time for the Federal Reserve, and it's nice to have that gold-plated data coming out, things like the jobs report, of course, that we'll all be focused on. So that's point number one, is at least we've got 6 more weeks of that. Point number two is there are acute areas of policy concern that have arisen with the government shutdown. So, for example, the National Flood Insurance Program. Had that lapsed, we would have been losing about 1,300 home sales a day, right? And then the Small Business Administration would have pulled back on credit availability. So there are acute issues that would have been delayed. But by and large, the biggest concern for me was that lack of gold-plated data when the Fed continues to navigate these choppy waters.